He's going to take it himself for a championship.
A double play wins it the break.
Turn it to the end zone. What a catch. Mackay, it's on. Touchdown.
Elijah wins it. The championship.
From live here inside Central High School in Newark, New Jersey, it's Monday afternoon basketball right here on the D1 Media Pro page on the National Federation of High School Sports. Today should be a good one. It's the Lions of Roselle Catholic on the road to face the Blue Devils of Newark Central. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here inside Central High School. My name is Kevin Connolly, and we thank you for joining us here on D1 Media Pro. Roselle Catholic trying to get back in the win column after a loss over the weekend against the #1 team in the country in Montverde Academy. Lions were playing shorthanded in that one, and they will be once again shorthanded today without the services of Mackenzie Ambacco and Tariq Watson. As for Newark Central, it's been a tough season for the Blue Devils, led by head coach Sean McCray after their stellar campaign last year, resulting in a sectional championship. Blue Devils just 6-15 on the season, but they'll look to pull off the big-time upset here on their home floor against Roselle Catholic behind their star senior guard, Hazir Lee. We're about 5 minutes away from tip-off here between Roselle Catholic and Newark Central. We'll step aside, hear a word from our sponsors. We'll be back with starting lineups and a whole lot more here from Central High School as Roselle Catholic gets set to take on the Blue Devils. Welcome back here to Central High School, getting set for tip-off between Roselle Catholic and Newark Central. I'm Kevin Connolly. Thank you for joining us here on this Monday afternoon here on D1 Media Pro. Lions trying to bounce back after a loss in a neutral site game at Kean University against Montverde Academy. It was 2 neutral site games for the Lions this weekend. They beat Calverley Christian out of Florida, their first out-of-state win this season, but then fell to another Florida team in Montverde. But Roselle Catholic was shorthanded in both of those games, and they'll be shorthanded once again here today without Mackenzie Ambacco or Tariq Watson. As for Newark Central, mentioned it's been a tough year for the Blue Devils. Lost a lot of talent from that sectional championship team a year ago. However, they did pick up a victory in their last game by a point against North Star Academy. Before that, 2 tough losses, one to East Orange and another one to Art. So we'll see if the Blue Devils can put together one of their best performances of the season here tonight against New Jersey's top team in Roselle Catholic. We'll be back with starting lineups right after this here on D1 Media Pro. Welcome back here at Newark Central. Crowd still filing in. Warm-ups have been completed, and we're set to go here between Roselle Catholic and Newark Central. We'll take you to the floor in just a minute for the announcement of today's starting lineups for both teams as Roselle Catholic goes on the road to take on Newark Central here on this Monday night. First will be the starting lineup for the visiting Lions of Roselle Catholic. And Roselle Catholic will be without Mackenzie Mbako, as you see him right there on your screen, and Tariq Watson in tonight's game, both recovering from injuries suffered a couple of weeks ago. So Roselle Catholic again playing shorthanded. But since both Mbako and Watson have been out of the lineup, Roselle Catholic has gone 2-1 in those 3 games. And now the starting lineup first for the visiting Lions of Roselle Catholic.
Wearing number 13, Roselle. At forward, senior, wearing number 23, Akil Watson. And rounding out the start line to the Lions. At guard, senior, wearing number 0, Simeon Wilson.
So there are your starters for Roselle Catholic. It'll be Sebastian Robinson, Christian Pierre, Louis, Simeon Wilcher, Akil Watson, and Rich Briscoe to start for Roselle Catholic head coach Dave Boff. Now we turn on the other end, the starting lineup for the Blue Devils of Central.
At forward, senior, wearing number 12, Dashawn Williams. At forward, senior, wearing number 24, Yasin Cox. At forward, senior, wearing number 2, Diane Flood. And rounding out the starting lineup, and guard, senior, wearing number 4, Isaiah Lee.
There are the starters for Newark Central: Dyer Flood, Hazir Lee, Yasin Kak, Malik Spax, and Yashawn Williams. Now we'll stay live right here for the playing of our national anthem. We'll be back right after this with tip-off between Roselle Catholic and Newark Central.
Lost Dental Group, we treat you like family.
Welcome back here. Roselle Catholic will be in the black. Newark Central will be in the gray. It'll be Rich Briscoe to jump it up for the Lions. He will be opposed in the circle by Dyer Flood. Kevin Connolly with you here on D1 Media Pro, and we're just set to go here between Roselle Catholic and Newark Central. It's the Blue Devils who win the tip, and we are off and running as there's a corner pocket three that rattles home to open the scoring for Malik Bass. Central going to show Roselle Catholic a zone here to start, and a good start indeed for the Blue Devils. Despite the two absences of Mackenzie Mbako and Tariq Watson, a lot of talent on the floor for Roselle Catholic. Robinson misses a three. Offensive rebound to Pierre Louis. Now it's Wilcher. Akeel Watson works free. He rises for three, and Akeel Watson matches the three from Malik Bass down the other end. Ball poked away from Bass, who has Robinson on him. Trying to feed the backdoor. Lee somehow kept it in bounds, but then threw it right into the hands of Robinson. Picked up his dribble. Pierre Louis cutting in the middle is Briscoe. Sends it back out. One more for Wilcher. Passes up on the three. Robinson on the wing. He'll drive and send it back out. Now Akeel Watson takes the three, and that ricochets off the top of the backboard, out of bounds. It'll go to Central. Now it's Williams just below the free throw line, and the fadeaway jumper drops. Robinson, a hop step into the lane, out for Wilcher. Robinson tries his second three, can't bank it in. Second offensive rebound for Roselle Catholic. It goes to Briscoe, and Wilcher can't hit the three ball. Lee looking to run, trying to drive, gets shut down there by Robinson. Tough turnaround for Hazir Lee, can't get it to go. Pierre Louis the rebound. Wilcher trying to run for Roselle Catholic. Robinson driving, a lot of contact down low. Another offensive rebound for Briscoe, but he can't stick it home. 3 offensive rebounds for Roselle Catholic. Converted on one of the opportunities on a three-pointer from Akeel Watson, but they still trail 5-3 here against Newark Central. Central is out of the Essex County tournament. Last year they made a run to the championship game where they fell in a classic against Seton Hall Prep. They have been eliminated from the Essex County tournament. Union County tournament scheduled to get underway this Saturday in a quadruple header in the quarterfinals, and it'll be interesting. Roselle Catholic not playing a Union County team on their schedule this year, but they still are the #1 seed in that upcoming Union County tournament. It'll be interesting to see the Lions go up against a couple of real quality teams in Union County as Hazir Lee driving to the basket, and he gets fouled. Roselle Catholic yet does not know their quarterfinal opponent just yet. Still a handful of teams that could advance to that quarterfinals. First round, I believe, of the Union County tournament gets underway tomorrow with the play-in matchups, but Roselle Catholic, the heavy favorite in that Union County tournament despite their injuries, as Hazir Lee misses the free throw. The foul was on Rich Briscoe. But certainly catch all Roselle Catholic's Union County tournament games starting this Saturday right here on D1 Media Pro. And Roselle Catholic back in action for senior night on Thursday night, where they will play Hudson County foe Hudson Catholic, 7 o'clock. And you can catch everything right here on D1 Media Pro. Second free throw drops for Hazir Lee, and it's a 3-point lead for Newark Central 3 minutes into this first quarter. Roselle Catholic with just 1 field goal here in this first quarter. Pierre Louis, not known for his three-point shooting, but he drills the triple. Deadlocked at 6 between the Lions and the Blue Devils. Hazir Lee, Newark Central's best offensive player, being guarded by Roselle Catholic's best defender and Christian Pierre Louis. How about that fadeaway from Jashawn Williams, his second fadeaway jumper in this game. Wilcher tried to answer, gets to the free throw line, kicks it for Akil Watson, shot no good, and Williams pulls down the board. Azir Lee on the step back three-pointer, and he comes up way short with an air ball. Central zone really stifling Roselle Catholic. Wiltshire trying to go up top to Watson. Pass was out of his reach and got deflected away. Then it's Lee down the other end. He gets stripped. They'll say it went off of his knee, out of bounds. Back to Roselle Catholic. Robinson in the middle of the zone. Watson in low to Briscoe. Nice cut by Robinson. He gets fouled. Can't get the shot to fall. But Sebastian Robinson going to go to the line to shoot two. Fouls on Dair Flood. His first, team's first for Central. Robinson goes 2 for 2 from the stripe. On the step back, Williams feeling it. Oh, he's got it again. 2 fadeaways and a banked in 3 from Jashawn Williams. And this Central crowd energized here early on. Watson down low, Briscoe to the basket, and he connects for the answer. Jashawn Williams filling it up for Newark Central here early on. Attempted 3 shots, made all 3, and has 7 points. Now he'll give it up. Bass on the drive, straight to the hole, got it stripped. Briscoe got his hands on it. Robinson secures the loose ball. Roselle Catholic not able to run. Robinson in transition, a 3. Looked like Williams was picking up his dribble, trying to call a timeout. He's trying to say it got knocked away, as is Central head coach Sean McCray. They call him the double dribble. Jalen Grant will come in. He's going to replace Christian Pierre-Louis. Wiltshire able to find Grant. Now back out Robinson. Good ball movement here for Roselle Catholic. Grant at the top. Robinson steps into another 3. Left that one short. Ball loose on the deck. Central comes out of the pack with it. Nice bullet pass down low on the hesitation, and the finish for Yassine Cox. Watson, cross-court high arcing pass to Wiltshire. Wiltshire? Oh, that's a deep 3 from Wiltshire. Can't get it to go. Rebound pulled in by Williams. Under 2 minutes to play here in this first quarter. Good one here between Roselle Catholic and Newark Central. Deadlocked at 13. Jashawn Williams leading the charge offensively for the Blue Devils. Williams gets it again. Trying to have a post-entry feed to Cox. Got poked away, and Watson comes away with it. Robinson left alone, pulls the trigger from 3, no. Briscoe goes right over the top of everybody to secure the rebound, but then he traveled. Mike Anderson checks in for Newark Central. Wiltshire hounding Williams, gives it to Lee, but it goes off the leg of Robinson out of bounds. Will stay with the Blue Devils. Azir Lee now with Sebastian Robinson on him. Lee on the cross, that's a long two, left it short. Offensive rebound goes to Williams, and he traveled. Wilcher, straight on, deep three, left it short. Offensive rebound, Robinson, back up, no. Rebound tipped into the hands of Hazir Lee. Central looking to run. Here's Lee down the lane, and he gets bumped by Robinson. Second foul on Roselle Catholic. Robinson's first. If Central wants to hold for the final shot here this first quarter with 30.3 seconds left on the timer. Lee's got to get it in. He gets called for a 5-second count. Right in front of Lee, he had Malik Bass and Mike Anderson, but he was trying to throw it into the post, couldn't get it out of his hands, and he gets called for a 5-second count. And now Roselle Catholic head coach Dave Boff calls for a timeout. That'll give us a chance to step aside for our first break of the game. 13-all between Roselle Catholic and Newark Central with 30 seconds left to go here in the first quarter. So after Hazir Lee gets called for the 5-second count, Roselle Catholic takes over on the turnover. Dave Boff calls a timeout, and we'll see what the Lions draw up here against this Newark Central zone. Wilcher passes up on the three in the corner, takes a long contested mid-range two instead. He missed it, but the ball was tapped out of bounds off the fingertips, like that ricocheted off the body of Ketri Hawkins, and will stay with Roselle Catholic. Watson will trigger. Comes back out to the top. Wilcher on the drive into the lane. Simeon Wilcher is going to the free throw line to shoot two. Fouls on Yassine Cox, his first, team second. Simeon Wilcher, the North Carolina-bound senior, at the line for Roselle Catholic, shooting two, and he gets the bounce on the first. Wilcher 2 for 2 from the line, puts Roselle Catholic up by 2. Central with a chance for the final shot here this first quarter. It's Bass driving, now has 5 on the clock, back out for Lee. Lee looks at the clock with 3, he spins, he's got to get a shot up, good if it goes, and it's too strong, off the back iron. Roselle Catholic 15, Newark Central 13, at the end of one quarter of play. Good one here in Newark on this Monday night. Roselle Catholic 15, Newark Central 13. We get set to start the second quarter here in Newark. It'll be Lions basketball to start this second frame. Sebastian Robinson leading the way in that first quarter with 5 points. 3 different players have hit 3-pointers for Roselle Catholic in those opening 8 minutes. Robinson has 1, Pierre Louis has 1, and Akil Watson has 1. Central zone has been causing some fits for Roselle Catholic. We get a whistle before the shot, and it looks like it's going to be a 3-second violation on Roselle Catholic, on Pierre Louis down low. Roselle Catholic turns it over on their first possession here this second quarter. Zashawn Williams has been the star for Newark Central in that first quarter as he turns around with another fadeaway and gets the hometown roll. Williams now with 9 points for the Blue Devils, leading all scorers on either side. All 3 of his 2-point field goals have been from the fadeaway variety. Ethan Mbako into the game, had the rebound knocked out of his hands. Pierre Louis with it, down low off the window for Mbako. But Jashawn Williams, a banked-in 3, and then 3 consecutive fadeaway 2s. He's having a strong performance here from Newark Central. And see there, Ethan Mbako, the brother of Mackenzie, with the putback off the nice feed from Christian Pierre Louis. Dave Boff in these past couple games having to go a little bit deeper into his bench without the services. That looked like a travel, and they will blow the whistle, and it is on Hazir Lee. Without the services of Mackenzie Mbako and Tariq Watson. Right now it's Mbako, Pierre Louis, Robinson, Grant, and Wilcher on the floor for Roselle Catholic. Robinson nearly had it poked away, got it back to Pierre Louis. Ethan Mbako's got 4 straight for Roselle Catholic. It's a Lions team without Mackenzie Mbako and Tariq Watson that picked up a victory over Calverley Christian over the weekend and then fell to Montverde Academy. Well, the Lions battled tough in that game despite having 2 of their better players in the rotation. Hazir Lee was free down low. Flood tips it into the hands of Williams. Again on the step back. Bounces off the back rim, the front rim, and bounces out. Outlet pass up ahead for Jalen Grant, and Grant will finish off the assist from Pierre Louis. 6 straight for Roselle Catholic, and they have their largest lead today. Big question here as that one ricochets and nearly catches Coach Boff in the face. Biggest question is going to be, how does Newark Central respond to Roselle Catholic runs, which you know are inevitable? Sebastian Robinson comes out, Akil Watson comes back in for the Lions. As that one comes down low to Williams, and again he finishes. How about this half Jashawn Williams is having for Newark Central? Wilcher left open, thought about the 3, and then a travel call by Watson. $11 points for Zashawn Williams for Newark Central. 11 of their 17, and they're giving Roselle Catholic all they can handle right now. 5.5 to go before halftime. Reminder to stay tuned tomorrow. A big game from Seat Caucus. Game moved to High Tech High School as St. Peter's Prep will take on St. Benedict's. 7 p.m. start right here on D1 Media Pro. How about Ethan Mbako off the pretty find from Simeon Wilcher, and a timeout called by Central. Mbako's got 6 in this second quarter for Roselle Catholic. We'll step aside for a break. 23-17 Lions on top of the Blue Devils.
Come on! Oh, what a bad call! You have no business being out there.
You know, I'm a person too.
So Ethan Mbako getting a breather and a lot of high fives for Roselle Catholic. He's got 6 points in less than 3 minutes here in this second quarter as Newark Central calls a timeout. Lions offense coming to life here against this Blue Devil zone in the second quarter, 23-17. The Lions on top of the Blue Devils. Sean McCray calling a timeout as Malik Bass trying to drive. Wild shot off the window, no. Rebound got knocked away from Wiltshire, but somehow he comes out of the pack with it. Oh, what a find to Pierre Louis. He couldn't finish. Rebound gets tipped on the sideline and saved right into the hands of Anderson. He splits a double. He'll go right into the body of Rich Briscoe. Shot no good, and then a foul called on the floor on the rebound. It looks like it's going against Roselle Catholic. It'll be the third foul on the Lions. We'll see who they get the foul on. They do get it on Briscoe. That's his second. And now Ethan Mbako is going to come into the game to replace Briscoe. So of the 3 Roselle Catholic team fouls, Briscoe has 2 of them. And now imagine he will sit for a large majority of these final 4.5 minutes of the second quarter. But Ethan Mbako certainly good in relief. Got 6 points since coming off the bench in this game for Roselle Catholic. Anderson trying to take him off the dribble, tried to create some contact, couldn't bank it in. Offensive rebound and a foul called. Foul's going to go on Akeel Watson, and Dair Flood will be at the line for Central to shoot 2. First foul on Akeel. So Flood with 1 more. And he goes 0 for 2 from the line. Rebound ricocheted off the body of Jalen Grant. That's outstanding hustle on the free throw blocks from Malik Bass, giving another possession to the Blue Devils. But Central wants to hang in this game with Roselle Catholic. They're going to have to convert at the free throw line. Ball comes back out for Bass. Hazir Lee hasn't really gotten going yet for Newark Central. You figure that Roselle Catholic would do a good job on him. He takes a long contested 2 over Pierre Louis, but the rebound fought for in the corner by the Blue Devils. Thrown back out to the top. Now numbers for Newark Central as Roselle Catholic gambled on the steal, and guess who? It's Williams down low for the finish. Back for Jalen Grant. Mbako, cross court for Wiltshire. Passes up on the 3. He'll take a long 2, and he left it short. Anderson one-on-one with Wiltshire. Elects otherwise and pulls it back out, as now Hazir Lee right down the lane gets fouled. 13 points for Zashawn Williams here for Newark Central. And another timeout is called by Roselle Catholic ahead of the 2 free throws upcoming for Hazir Lee as Ethan Mbako picked up his first. 3:18 to go before halftime. Close game, 23-19. Lions on top of the Blue Devils.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
Back here at Newark Central, 2 free throws upcoming for Hazir Lee, trying to bring Newark Central within a possession of Roselle Catholic. Lions just burned their second timeout of the game. Lee really hasn't gotten going. He's 1 of 2 from the free throw in the line, and now you can make that 1 of 3. Lee with 1 more, and he converts on the second, so 1 for 2 from the line, 2 of 4 overall. And now Central going to pick up full court, something that they're known for. Roselle Catholic breaks it fairly easily, but Pierre Louis throws his pass in the corner to Mbako out of bounds. Newark Central a chance to tie with a 3. Here with 3 minutes to go in this first half against Roselle Catholic. Williams has had the hot hand for Central. That's a tough three-pointer. He left it short. Saved there by Anderson. Right into the hands of Robinson. Out to Mbako. A lot of contact, no call. Now we get a whistle. It'll be a tie-up, and the arrow sends it to Newark Central. Bass on it into the corner. Now it's Lee with Pierre-Louis on him. Tries to drive baseline. Lot of contact. Another foul, and Hazir Lee is going back to the free throw line. Lee 2 for 4 from the line today. His only 2 points in this game have come from the charity stripe. It's a second foul on Akil Watson. Also now the 6th on Roselle Catholic, so Central in the bonus for the rest of this first half. Nazir Lee makes the free throw as Jalen Grant will come in. Ethan Mbako will head to the bench. So Rich Briscoe on the bench with 2 fouls for Roselle Catholic. Akil Watson is going to stay on the floor for the Lions with 2 fouls, as Hazir Lee has 1 more free throw upcoming for the Blue Devils. And Lee goes 2 for 2 from the stripe and makes this a 1-point game with 2:20 to play. And Pierre-Louis just threw it out of bounds. Was trying to throw a bounce pass up to Akil Watson on that far sideline, and I don't know if it slipped out of his hands or what, but he just threw it right out of bounds. Flexing at his finger, maybe got hit on the play as now Lee tries to drive right by him. And now he'll pull it back out. Central, chance to take their lead since midway through the first quarter. Somehow they're able to get it to Lee on the back door, and he throws it way out of bounds as Williams was cutting on that baseline. Williams going back, taking the blame, saying that's my fault, that's my fault. Seen this Central team a couple of times this year. They seem much more connected and engaged here against the top-ranked Lions, as you would expect. Pierre-Louis on the offensive rebound, and he gets fouled, slapped across the arms by Hazir Lee. Just the 3rd foul on Newark Central. Lee's first. Watson into Wilcher. Back out Robinson. Passes up the 3. Drives. A lot of contact down low. Shot no good. Rebound tipped around. Pierre-Louis comes away with it, and he finishes off the window. Now it's Lee on the drive, and a foul called on the floor. Free throws upcoming for Central. Seventh team foul. That one goes on Jalen Grant, his first, and Hazir Lee at the line for a 1-and-1. All of Lee's points here tonight have come at the free throw line, and he misses the 1-and-1. He's got 4 points, all 4 from the line. Wilcher spinning. Wilcher, the hop step. Oh, there's the athleticism from Simeon Wilcher going coast to coast. Williams nearly traveled with it. Anderson will get it across. Roselle Catholic blitzes Anderson, and a whistle comes in before the shot, and a timeout was called by the Blue Devils. Under a minute to play here in this first half. Roselle Catholic getting all they can handle. 27-22, Lions in front.
Yeah, they hate when you elevate.
Second of losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate, yeah. I had to elevate. I'm way too fly, yeah, I'm feeling.
27-22, Roselle Catholic leads Newark Central. 58.8 seconds left to go here in this second quarter. Both teams with 3 timeouts remaining. 17 fouls on Roselle Catholic, 3 on Newark Central, who will inbound from the sideline and go into the backcourt to Hazir Lee. Central has been playing much better as of late, coming off a 1-point victory against North Star Academy. But prior to that, they had back-to-back losses on the road against East Orange and then here at home against Arts as Lee tried to squeeze a bullet pass in low, and we will get a tie-up, a jump ball, and the arrow sends it to Roselle Catholic. And you can see Blue Devils playing a lot better here against Roselle Catholic despite being in a 5-point hole. But the ball will go back to the Lions, 34.7 on the clock. See what Roselle Catholic wants to do here, up by 5 and half a minute to go in this second quarter. Wilcher will take the 3. Too strong. Rebound into the hands of Williams, who's leading the way with 13 points in this game for Central. Nearly got it poked away. Somehow stayed with it on the sideline. Down low to Anderson. He lost it into the lane. Central has to slow this thing down, but they play at a high-octane, high-tempo offense, and then a foul called on the baseline on Roselle Catholic. Looks like it's going to go on Jalen Grant. Based on his reaction, it will. They'll get him with a push with 7.1 on the clock, and it'll be a 1-and-1 for Zashawn Williams. Rich Briscoe with his 2 fouls. He'll come back into the game for Christian Pierre-Louis, an offense-for-defense substitution from Roselle Catholic head coach Dave Boff. 8th team foul on Roselle Catholic. Was also the second on Jalen Grant. Williams at the line, shooting his first free throws of the game, and he gets the roll on the front end of the 1-and-1. Williams, one more, can't get the roll that time. Watson had the rebound tipped away. It comes to Wilcher. Simeon Wilcher with 3 into the front court. Down low for Briscoe. Count it at the horn. Rich Briscoe gives Roselle Catholic 2 points. They will count it, and it's 29-23. Lions on top of Newark Central. Briscoe wanted a foul on the play as well. He will not get it. Dave Boff saying it was a foul. Was it a foul? No, the ball went to the scorer's table, and you see the reaction there of Dave Boff once he realizes no foul was called. So no foul, count the basket for Briscoe, and it's 29-23 Roselle Catholic going into halftime. But Newark Central giving the Lions all they can handle here in this one. We'll step aside for our halftime break. Roselle Catholic 29, Newark Central 23. Don't go anywhere. Second half coming up after these messages right here on D1 Media Pro.
He's going to take it himself for a championship. A double play wins it for free.
Turn it to the end zone. What a catch. McKay, touchdown.
Into the layup, goes at the buzzer.
Volusia wins it. The championship.
done, right? Oh, come on! Oh, what a bad call! You have no business being out there.
You know, I'm a person too.
This high school gym used to be packed most nights. Not anymore. Do you know why? Because bad behavior by fans, especially adults, has caused a shortage of game officials across the country. You see, without officials, we can't have sports. Don't let this become reality. It's time for a change. Let's bench bad behavior for good.
Yeah, they hate when you elevate. The second of losses, I'm handing them out, yeah, I had to go delegate. It feel like I'm floating, I'm lost in the moment, I swear I could levitate. They never believed that I would really fly, I had to go demonstrate. I had to set them straight. They hate when you elevate, elevate, elevate. They hate when you elevate, yeah. I had to elevate. I'm way too fly, yeah, I'm feeling.
Glover, one-on-one with the basket. Oh, Jaden Glover! With the windmill to send this place into a frenzy. And
to the corner, Lawrence. No-look pass, and Wilcher lays it in.
Wilcher to the hole. Simeon Wilcher starting to heat up. He's got 4 points, and Roselle Catholic leads by 11.
Watson to his brother, and Tariq is fouled and hits it. They'll go to the line for one.
They'll pick it up, the clock will move. Lawrence with Adams on him, lost his footing, gets a shot up, and he gets it to go. At the buzzer, Jamarcus Lawrence, a big first quarter for the Nebraska commit.
You can see the future of the Duke and North Carolina rivalry on D1 Media Pro.
There you see Hubert Davis, head coach of North Carolina, here to see Simeon Wilcher.
Looking live right there at a trio of Duke basketball coaches: John Shire, Nolan Smith, Emil Jefferson. Clock now at 12. Kicks it in the corner. Lively for three. Got it. Derek Lively, a corner three. And an early third quarter. As he'll look to go off the dribble here. Goes right around Lively, and he gets the roll. Inbounds to Wilcher. A step back, fade away, through contact. Simeon Wilcher. He's out for Mbako. He'll try one from beyond the arc. And Mackenzie Mbako is on fire to start this one. It's his responsibility as Maldonado cranks one into deep left field. You can forget about that. Chris Maldonado with home run number 2 today. He's got
as this one is ripped into left field. A bat flip and a homer for Tyler.
Pitch is hit in the air, left field. Going over Fiore. He's back at the track, at the wall. It's gone. A leadoff home run for St. Joseph's Regional.
Welcome back. Start of the second half here between Newark Central and Roselle Catholic. Blue Devils giving the Lions all they can handle here to begin this third quarter. And Roselle Catholic only had 4 on the floor to start this second half as we are underway at Central basketball here to begin. And no Simeon Wilcher out there on the floor for Roselle Catholic to begin this second half. He's on the bench. Looked like might have an equipment issue with his shoe or something as Bass goes off the window and connects for Central. Malik Bass starting off the first half and the second half with a made basket. So on the floor for Roselle Catholic as now we get a whistle and the scoreboard has gone black. So the scoreboard has been turned off. And now it goes back on, and now it goes back off. So on the floor here for Roselle Catholic to start this second half, it's Pierre-Louis, Grant, Robinson, Briscoe, and Akil Watson. And yeah, it looked like it was some type of shoe issue with Simeon Wilcher as now he's coming to the scorer's table for Roselle Catholic. Scoreboard's back on, and we're back underway, 29-25. Roselle Catholic leads at 29-23 at the break. Again, Central in their zone. Briscoe on the turnaround. Count it, and a chance for 3. Rich Briscoe, who had the buzzer beater in close to end the first half, has the first bucket of this second half for Roselle Catholic. Briscoe now with 6 points. It was Ethan Mbako who led the way in that first half for Roselle Catholic with 6 points. Briscoe now with 6 and a chance to add his point total to 7 at the charity stripe. And he can't do that as he leaves it short. So Wilcher is back out on the floor. Jalen Grant sits for Roselle Catholic. Hazir Lee yet to make a field goal. He'll rise for 3, too strong. Rebound to Williams. Nice feed down low. A hesitation and a rejection from Briscoe. Central wanted a foul. They don't get the call. Watson back. Wilcher passes up on the 3. Taps it over to Robinson. Pierre-Louis again down low. Briscoe cannot make the basket through contact, but Roselle Catholic with a concerted effort here to begin this second half to get the ball down low to its big man, Rich Briscoe. Hazir Lee now with Wilcher on him. Crosses him over off the window, no good. And Briscoe on the rebound, travels. Hazir Lee just with 4 points in this game, all coming at the free throw line, has not been able to get going offensively for Newark Central. And if they can get him going, combined with the way Zashawn Williams has played for the Blue Devils, it could put Roselle Catholic in a bit of danger here. As you see Williams there, again a tough baseline jumper, that time left it short, but the rebound controlled by the Blue Devils. Lee rises for 3, and this time he connects. First field goal of the game for Hazir Lee, and Roselle Catholic now just leading by 3, and a double foul is going to be called down low. It'll go on Akil Watson and Zashawn Williams. It'll be the 3rd foul on Akil Watson. So Akil Watson, the first Roselle Catholic player with 3 fouls. He'll stay in the game here with 5:58 to go in the third quarter as the inbound comes in long to Wilcher. Wilcher to Robinson for 3. Sebastian Robinson hitting his second triple of the game. He had 5 points in that first half. Roselle Catholic trying to get engaged a little bit more. Lee feeling it. Oh, the net wasn't through the basket, but Lee still put the ball in the cup. Hazir Lee starting to heat up now for Newark Central. Back-to-back 3-pointers on consecutive possessions. Now it's Wilcher. Robinson trying to answer off the mark. Briscoe tipped the rebound, but Williams comes away with it. Central trying to run. Hazir Lee was calling for it. Williams took a tough jump shot. Lee gets it right back, going for 3 in a row, and the heat check no good there by the senior from the Blue Devils. Wilcher. Robinson left alone, gets that poked away. There's Hazir Lee with Pierre-Louis chasing him down, and he can't finish on the finger roll. Robinson up ahead for Wilcher. Pace of this game picking up. Simeon Wilcher on the baseline connects, and a timeout called on the floor by Roselle Catholic. 36-31, Lions in front, 4:37 to go here in the third quarter. (36-31), Roselle Catholic on top of Newark Central. Both offenses throwing punches at each other here to begin this second half. Roselle Catholic going to pick up full court here against the Blue Devils. They'll get it into Malik Bass. Nearly got it poked away by Sebastian Robinson. Christian Pierre-Louis going 94 feet with Hazir Lee, and a foul called underneath as Jashawn Williams will go to the line to shoot free throws. Foul's going to go on Akeel Watson, and that's going to be his 4th foul. The double foul earlier in this half coming back to haunt Watson and the Lions, as now he has 4 with 4:29 to go here in the third quarter. Williams at the line. Jalen Grant's going to check in for Akeel Watson, who leaves with 4 fouls. So we'll have to keep an eye on when Dave Boff wants to bring Akeel Watson back into the game. His team leading by 5. Zashawn Williams now 1 for 3 from the free throw line in this game. Has one more. That one left way short. Barely grazed the front rim. Williams gets it right back, way off the mark. A third try for Williams, and he can't get it to go. Flood with the offensive rebound. Poked away by Wilcher. Wilcher looking to run. Gets shut down. Cross-court pass to Jalen Grant, who rises for 3, no good. And Flood with the rebound, and then Pierre-Louis will get called for the foul. 4 opportunities for Newark Central down the other end, and they were unable to connect. And Bass with the pressure from Robinson lost the handle and dribbled it out of bounds. So Roselle Catholic turning the pressure up defensively here on Newark Central, and the Blue Devils with a couple of costly turnovers here midway through this third quarter. I've not seen Ethan Mbako yet here in this third quarter. Ill-advised pass from Pierre-Louis and a turnover. Lee down the other end, can't get the roll. Briscoe clears the rebound. Up ahead for Wilcher into the lane. Wilcher can't get it to go off glass. Numbers down the other way for Central. Hanging and leaving it short there is Williams. The tap back by Lee into the hands of Briscoe. Outlet for Roselle Catholic. 2-on-1. Jalen Grant steps into a mid-range 2. No good. Pierre-Louis down low. Wide open is Wilcher. And finally, someone able to put the ball into the bottom of the basket. 38-31. Roselle Catholic on top here in Newark Central. Bass Throws it out, hop step into the lane. Williams got it stripped. Outlet pass for Jalen Grant, and he blew the layup. Grant missed a wide open layup down the other end for Roselle Catholic. Cox into the lane, kicks it out for Lee. Central trying to take advantage of the missed bunny down the other end from Jalen Grant. Lee on the hesitation, and they'll wave off the shot attempt. They'll say a foul called on the floor. Foul's on the floor. It's on Jalen Grant. It's his third. Roselle Catholic already playing shorthanded in this game without the services of Mackenzie Mbako and Tariq Watson. Akil Watson on the bench with 4 fouls. It's really just been a 7-man rotation from Roselle Catholic. Jalen Grant with the steal, trying to redeem himself, and this time he will finish. How about that from the freshman? Missing a bunny just moments ago, but turning around, getting a steal and the score to reciprocate for his miss. Robinson the steal, Grant no good, Robinson on the follow. And Roselle Catholic turning up the pressure now. They have their largest lead today. It's 11 points, 42-31. Mike Anderson in the corner, can't answer with the 3. Ball tipped around, Briscoe fighting for it. Will get a tie-up, and the arrow keeps it, or check that, the arrow sends it to Roselle Catholic. And now a timeout called by Sean McCray and the Blue Devils. 1:54 to go here in the third quarter. Roselle Catholic has opened up its largest lead of the game, 42-31. Back after the Central timeout. Roselle Catholic off the tie-up at the arrow. Central back to their zone. 1:45 to play here in the third quarter. Pierre Louis for 3. Can't get it to go. Hazir Lee with the long rebound. Dangerous pass there from Lee. Gets it to Williams, who got it stripped. But Lee standing at center court. Down low to Flunn, rejected by Briscoe. Out of bounds. It'll stay with the Blue Devils. Rich Briscoe really making his presence known here in this second half. Commanding the paint and taking this game over defensively, as now Briscoe will come out, as we'll see Ethan Mbako into the game for the first time here in this second half. He led Roselle Catholic in the first half with 6 points. Ball loose on the deck. Grant had it, and then they'll say it went off the foot of Cox out of bounds to Roselle Catholic. Sean McCray not happy with his Blue Devil team, as Roselle Catholic has opened up its largest lead tonight at 11 points. Robinson, Wilcher down low. Mbako tried to squeeze it through to Wilcher, and he couldn't control the pass. Under a minute to play here in the third quarter. Hazir Lee, the step back high arcing 3-pointer, no good. Long rebound, Pierre Louis looking to run the floor. Feeds the corner, Jalen Grant left the 3-pointer short. Williams had 14 in the first half. Can't get anything to fall here in the second half. 3-on-1, Wilcher by himself off the feed from Robinson. And there's a steal and a foul called. Who are they going to get the whistle on? You had Robinson and Lee down on the floor, and I think they're going to get the foul on Robinson, and they are. So they'll get Robinson on the push. That's his second, team's fifth. And with 24 seconds to play here in the third quarter, it'll stay with Newark Central. Jalen Maldonado will come in for these final 24 seconds for Roselle Catholic. First time we're seeing Maldonado in today's game. Lee up ahead for Anderson. Anderson with the step. Drive into the lane. Somehow got it to fall in on a wild shot attempt from Mike Anderson. Roselle Catholic will get it across half court with 14 seconds. Wilcher takes a look at the clock. 11-point lead for the Lions, led by as many as 13. Wilcher on the drive. Pierre-Louis now with Wilcher with 5 and 3. Wilcher rises up, deep three-pointer. Simeon Wilcher at the buzzer. Caps off an impressive third quarter for Roselle Catholic. The Lions awoke coming out of the halftime locker room, and they'll take their largest lead of the game into the fourth quarter. 47-33. Lions on top of Newark Central with 8 minutes left to play. Simeon Wilcher getting hot in that third quarter. 9 of his 13 points came in that third frame, and Roselle Catholic now has their largest lead today. It's 47-33, and Wilcher was eyeing down that long triple with about 5 seconds to go in the shot clock. It'll be Pierre-Louis, Grant, Mbaka, Wilcher, and Robinson on the floor for Roselle Catholic. It'll be Lee, Bass, Anderson, Cox, and Williams on the floor to start this fourth quarter for Central as they go right into Cox. Oh, they'll get a foul on Mbako. That looked like a clean rejection from the youngest Mbako brother, but it will result in free throws for Yassine Cox. It'll be the 6th team foul on Roselle Catholic. It'll be Mbako's second. So Central will be in the bonus here for the final 7:42 of regulation. For the Blue Devils, just 3 made field goals in that third quarter as Cox tried to bank in the free throw. 2 of them came for Hazir Lee, and they came at big times. It got Central within a possession of Roselle Catholic. Malik Bass had the only other field goal to begin that third quarter, but other than that, it was a quiet third quarter for Newark Central. Cox, again, way too strong on the free throw. He tried to bank both in, and things falling apart a little bit here for Newark Central. They leave Wilcher wide open from the same spot he made that buzzer beater at the end of the third quarter, but he hits the heel of the rim, and it goes over the top of the backboard out of play, and that's out of bounds. Ketri Hawkins back in for Central. Flood. Now Anderson trying to work on the freshman Grant, and he stepped out of bounds on the baseline. Turnovers mounting here for Central, and Roselle Catholic taking advantage. Wilcher trying to get the Blue Devils napping defensively. Just able to turn around back in their 2-3 zone to realize dangerous cross-court pass was tipped out of bounds by Williams, as Rich Briscoe will come back in for Roselle Catholic. He will replace Ethan Mbako. Remember, Gil Watson, have not seen him, picked up his 4th foul midway through that third quarter. But Roselle Catholic has had the others fill in admirably for the Arizona State signee who remains on the Lions bench. Robinson on the turnaround. Sebastian Robinson adding to the lead for Roselle Catholic. .6:30 to go here in the fourth quarter. Lee on the drive, and they are going to call a foul. Roselle Catholic wanted a walk. They'll get Christian Pierre-Louis with the push. So it'll be a 1-and-1 upcoming for Hazir Lee. Second foul on Pierre-Louis, 7th team foul. Hazir Lee with 10 for Newark Central. And he misses the front end of the 1-and-1. He has struggled from the free throw line here today. Wilcher right into the lane. He gets fouled. They'll wave off the shot. No basket. But a foul called on the floor. Just the third team foul on Central, as we'll see Malachi Thomas come into the game for the first time tonight for Central. That last foul went on Dyer Flood, his second. Good ball movement around for Robinson, whose three-pointer just misses. Briscoe started his jump on the rebound a little too early, and the pocket gets picked of Bass. Pierre-Louis, no. Robinson on the offensive boards, and he's going to the free throw line. Foul goes on Hawkins. Gil Watson with his 4 fouls is going to come back in at the 6:07 mark. First foul on Hawkins, 4th team foul on Central. Robinson at the line for 2. 12 points for Sebastian Robinson, make it 13. As Jalen Grant will sit. Robinson 2 for 2 from the free throw line, and it's an 18-point lead for Roselle Catholic, their largest today. Hazir Lee for 3, no. Briscoe pulls down the board. Wilcher looking to run into the lane. Wilcher evading traffic, and Simeon Wilcher on a mission here in this second half. Roselle Catholic comfortably ahead now by 20 here in the final 6 minutes, as that three-pointer again off the mark. Central just unable to find the bottom of the net ever since the midway point of this third quarter, and a foul called on the rebound on Central. That'll go on Zashawn Williams, who has been held scoreless here in the second half after piling in 14 first half points for the Blue Devils. It's his second and the team's 5th. Robinson again on the turnaround, no good. Long rebound out for Watson, down low for Rich Briscoe. Briscoe now with 8 points here for the Lions. Lee working on Pierre-Louis, and he gets the 5-second count. Another Central turnover forced by Christian Pierre-Louis. And once Roselle Catholic got this momentum and got the train moving, Central has had little to do to try and stop it. Lions have figured out this Blue Devil zone as Pierre-Louis drives on the baseline and gets fouled. Fouls on Hawkins, or check that, Williams, his 3rd. Pierre-Louis at the line for 2 and gets the first to roll in. Pierre-Louis had 5 in the first half. Jalen Grant will come in. He's now got 7 points, first 2 points of the second half for Pierre-Louis, who will sit. Reminder tomorrow, 7 o'clock from Sea Caucus. It's St. Peter's Prep and St. Benedict's. You can watch it live right here on D1 Media Pro, pregame starting at 6:45. Again, St. Peter's Prep and St. Benedict's, as there's a travel on Central. Marauders and the Gray Bees should be a good one. Game had to be moved, though, out of Jersey City at the barn on the campus of St. Peter's Prep because of an NJSIAA Wrestling State Tournament game. As a nice feed down low. Briscoe couldn't finish, but he's there on the follow. So the basketball game gets moved to High Tech. Still at 7 o'clock. You can watch it live right here on D1 Media Pro. Rich Briscoe having himself a strong second half as well. He's got 6 points total here in this second half, 10 overall. And Roselle Catholic pouring it on here against Central as Williams no good. Bass tried the no-look pass. Roselle Catholic comes away with it. Watson down low, and they're going to get him with an offensive foul, and that's going to be the 5th foul on Akil Watson, and he can't believe it. So Watson out with 5 with 4:14 to go here in the fourth quarter. Christian Pierre-Louis will come back in to replace him, but Akil Watson has had his struggles here today with foul trouble, and a couple of these fouls Watson has not agreed with, but he has 5, and he gets DQ'd. Roselle Catholic in command with just over 4 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Nice backdoor feed. Hazir Lee gets the roll. Again down low for Briscoe. Back out Wilcher. We'll pull it back out to the top. Wilcher directing traffic. Pierre-Louis has hit 1 3. Can't get that one to go, and it bounces over the backboard and out of play. It's kind of been a tale of two halves, obviously, for this Newark Central team. In the first half, their guy was Sean Williams with 14 points. Azir Lee did not make a field goal in that first half, just had 4 points off from the free throw line. As Wilcher steals his pass, he'll go behind the back, lost control, and pulls it back out. And then his pass gets deflected right down to Pierre-Louis. Count it in the foul. Oh, how about that look? Wilcher gets the assist on a pass that got deflected straight up into the air, right near the basket. And Pierre-Louis snatched it out of the air and lays it in for 2. And the foul is also the 5th on Sean Williams. So capping off that point I was making about Lee and Williams is Lee just added 4 points off from the free throw line. He's got 8 points here in the second half. But Williams, after 14 points in the first half, he's now fouled out with 14 points, did not score here in this second half, as Christian Pierre-Louis now at the line for one shot for Roselle Catholic. It's also the 7th foul on the Blue Devils, so Lions in the bonus here for the final 3:16 of the fourth quarter, and Pierre-Louis cannot convert on the free throw. 61-35, 3:10 to play here in Newark. Roselle Catholic looking like they're going to pick up victory number 13 on the season. Back in action on Thursday night for senior night against Hudson Catholic. 7 p.m. start. You can watch it live right here on D1 Media Pro. Late whistle, and a foul will go on Roselle Catholic. They'll get it on Sebastian Robinson, and Hazir Lee will shoot 2 free throws. Lee short on the second. Briscoe with the rebound. Central trying to pick up some pressure and force Roselle Catholic into a turnover. Instead, they break it. Robinson for 3, and Roselle Catholic pouring it on here in the final minutes of this one. Lee spinning into the lane, can't get the shot to fall. Briscoe, again the rebound. Strong game down low for Rich Briscoe, especially here in this second half. Robinson again for 3, no good. Pierre-Louis with the rebound. He goes back up, no, and Rich Briscoe is there for the follow. And all of a sudden, it's a 30-point Roselle Catholic lead here in the final 2 minutes. pass. Tries to answer with a three of his own. No good. Again, Briscoe down low with the rebound. Double-double from Rich Briscoe here tonight for Roselle Catholic. And Simeon Wilcher says goodnight with a three-pointer of his own. Roselle Catholic will call a timeout for substitution purposes only. It's their penultimate timeout as Robinson and Wilcher will sit. Jalen Grant, Jalen Maldonado, Ethan Mbako, and Kenny Mao come into the game. 23-point lead and 1:45 to go. Roselle Catholic really turning it on here in this second half. Give Central credit. They hung with Roselle Catholic for a half. Perhaps something they can build on and take into the state tournament. Again, mentioned they have already been eliminated in the Essex County tournament. Roselle Catholic has yet to begin the Union County tournament. It'll be the first time they play a Union County team this year. It'll be on Saturday in the quarterfinals. Opponent still yet to be determined, but you can watch the game live here on D1 Media Pro. 69-36 is our score. Was 29-23 at halftime, and you see in Roselle Catholic as Bass will get called for the travel. They locked in defensively, and their offense was able to catch up, and now it'll be a running clock here with an over 30-point margin in the second half. Roselle Catholic make a couple of more substitutions. We'll see what they want to do offensively as Rich Briscoe and Jalen Grant come out of the game. Ethan Mbako steps into a three-pointer, can't get it to go. Mbako was really a hero for Roselle Catholic in that first half. He led the way with 6 points in the first two quarters. Foul called underneath with 29 seconds remaining. Mbako has not gotten on the score sheet here in the second half, but his 6 first half points were huge for Roselle Catholic, and it's been Sebastian Robinson, Simeon Wilcher, Rich Briscoe, and Christian Pierre-Louis who have led the charge here in this second half. It's been a quiet game also for Akeel Watson. Watson struggling with foul trouble. Hit the first shot of the game for Roselle Catholic, which was a three-pointer, but has been held scoreless since then. And told you that Tariq Watson and Mackenzie Mbako are out for today's game for Roselle Catholic. So Central still going to pick up here against the reserves for the Lions. Jalen Maldonado will bring it into the front court. Maldonado trying to squeeze a pass down low, was picked off. Outlet pass for Hazir Lee. You think the referees are going to let him play because that clearly looked like it was out of bounds, but Cox right at the rim will lay it in for two with 10 seconds remaining. Again, it's picked off by Lee. Lee tried to dunk, no good, got it right back, and a foul called with 5 seconds remaining. So Hazir Lee was looking for his highlight with a one-hand putback. Couldn't get the call, and on the offensive rebound got fouled. So he'll go to the line to shoot two here for Central. He will finish as the team's leading scorer after Deshaun Williams was held scoreless in the second half after his 14-point first half. For Central, they're back in action tomorrow on the road against Immaculate Conception. It's a 4 p.m. start from IC. Immaculate Conception still live in the Essex County tournament. They will have a rematch with Seton Hall Prep on Saturday in the semifinals. Second free throw from Lee is no good. Roselle Catholic will dribble out the final couple of seconds, and this game has gone final. A dominant second half for Roselle Catholic. 69-41. They defeat Newark Central here on the road to pick up their 13th victory of the season. Thanks everyone for tuning in for today's matchup. I'm Kevin Connolly. Once again, your final score, Roselle Catholic 69 and Newark Central 41.
He's going to take it himself for a championship. A double play wins it the race.
Turn it to the end zone. What a catch. Micaiah touchdown.